Hello, 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 and yes, my mic is working. Good evening, everybody. Happy Monday, and happy Monday with Max. Welcome. Good to see you all here. Appreciate you guys all for being here. And my stuff just is not set up right. Let me move things around a little bit so I can see the chat. Actually, I'm gonna move the chat over here. Be easier to see over here. Well, anyway, let me go through the roll call and then we'll get down to business. Everybody shows up early, so now I got a big long list. Patrick Murphy, welcome. In fact, let me switch to live chat. Not that I ever really see much of a difference, but all set. Miner, Retro Mike Crypto, Cherish. Thank you guys for being members. Crypto Bedell, Alexander Fleener, Kyle Rosa, Slick Nick, Crypto Crag. Crypto Crag evidently, I think, has been having some really good luck solo mining. So congrats on that. Mine has not been quite as good. Red Panda Mining is in the house. And yes, he is a mod, so behave. That's all I can say. I think I said retro. Yeah, I said retro Mike. Let's see. Joker Miner, Sunflower Mama is here to keep you guys all in line. 4J, Cherish, thank you for being a member. DJ Mines, welcome. Good to see you. You go down. K Trim, Second TL, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Patrick Guyan, Geek of All Trades, thank you for being a member. 360 Mining, Trillion Capital Toronto Corporation. I'm just gonna say TCTC. It's just a heck of a lot shorter. Good to see you, sir. Hobbyist Miner, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Automatic Beats, Rondi, good to see you, man. No, don't ban my friend. RPM's my friend. Don't ban him. Let's see here. Steven Cicero, and yes, that is how you say his name. Black Sales, Blue Dragon Mining, Integra Guy, good to see you, and thank you for being a member. It bounced. Simone B, haven't seen you guys around. Thank you for being here. Aha, again, another new person I haven't seen before. Thank you for being here. Bacon, Eggs and Hash. Hey guys, good to see you, sir. All right, gonna scroll down, just make sure. Golden Wolf, good to see you, sir, and thank you for being a member. And Depran, thank you for being a member, and good to see you. All Track 89. Travelers Travels, thank you for being here and being a member. And Crypto Hunter, same to you. And okay, I got through it. I think that's probably about record time. I haven't done it that fast before. Anyway, Wealth Talks, good to see you too. Alrighty, guys. Well, I didn't really have much to talk about until, I don't know, I just started looking around and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting to talk about. That's kind of interesting to talk about. Anyway, so a couple of things I will talk about tonight. I do want to thank Road Puts for sending me information on ASML. That was some pretty interesting information. We'll talk a little bit about that tonight. Obviously, with Mining King's video this morning, you're probably all aware that WordPress is in beta on Flux. So you can deploy WordPress on Flux. Talk a little bit about that tonight as well. I need to get familiar with StreamYard so that I can actually bring somebody on. I thought about bringing on Jeff Key if he was going to be available. He was in the chat, but I just don't have the wherewithal to get it together that quickly. So that'll be one of my things I need to do this week, is get familiar with StreamYard. I know it's not hard to use. I just gotta figure it out. Spend just half hour to an hour on it and figure it out. Also be talking about why my Flux node went down and some things to watch out there. Some things I've talked about in the past. My experience with solo mining of Kaspa. Last week I was rolling with blocks. Since then, not so much. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then my favorite part is fun with ChatGPT. So definitely been doing some research and playing around with that this week, watching some videos. And I'll share with you one of the things that I found extremely valuable for what I was doing. And we'll even talk a little bit about taxes. In fact, I'll start out with that. So first off, I know Serpent had a video where he talked about the integrations that TurboTax now has with reporting your crypto sales and such. And he gave me a shout out during that video, so appreciate that very much. Go check out his channel. It was just definitely a very interesting video about some new features in TurboTax. Alrighty, well, let's talk about Flux node first, or second actually. So Flux node, new FluxOS got released, and it's always a bit of a crapshoot if your node will stay up when it automatically updates. If you have automatic updates set up, sometimes your node will go down. And that's what happened to one of my nodes. So all you have to do is restart it. I'm hoping that the Flux team will eventually be able to, one way or the other, when a Flux node goes down, actually implement a restart. I don't think they have the ability, and I think it has to do with exactly, you may have to have like root permissions in order to do it. And I'm not sure if they have the ability to do that within it. Anyway, hoping eventually they figure out a way that they can do that. But yeah, that's all I had to do was restart it once I figured out that it was down. And thankfully, it was one of the ones that I got a payout on this past weekend. So I only lost a day and a half in time. So not a big deal. 1 out of the 7 basically went to this fate of going down. So, but it's up and running now, so we're all good. Mining King, welcome. Chump Change, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Ah, well, congrats, the Mining King. Oh, I see what you did here. Is the miningking.com running on Flux and on WordPress? I suspect. No, I mean, you can send them wherever you want, Mining King, but if they get sent here, they're going to get burned. I'm just going to light them on fire. Anyway, but anyway, just something to keep an eye out. I know that his trunk basically has said before, be very cautious about turning on automatic updates. Because yes, it is known that sometimes when you do an automatic update, it will take the node down. So this is a known issue, and the way you can get around it is just do it manually instead of doing it automatically. And then when you do them and one of them goes down, you manually restart it and you're back up. So you could certainly do that as well. Right now I've got them on automatic. I may eventually take them off of automatic specifically for that reason, but we'll see. We shall see. All right. I know I've missed a few not super chats, but tags. You go down. Please leave the Christmas tree up. The reflection of the lights on your framed flannel looks awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, is it the Christmas tree that's doing that, or is that just the lights in general? It is the tree. Okay. Anyway, well, I'm glad you like it. It also, if I ever do change the flannel, it makes it harder to tell that the flannel's changed. So it makes it a bit more of a challenge. Always thinking. All right, let me go back to see some of the other tags. Hello, Steven Cicero. Crypto Bedell, no flannel. Glad to see the crypto tree is still up. Yes, it is still up. No flannel today. Decided to break out the long sleeve polos. It was a little warm today. It was in the mid 50s, and I knew I was going to be walking around quite a bit in the warehouse. So I thought the flannel might be a bit much. You know what? Actually, I put that new feature to the test, and you're smoking crack, Google. I'm sorry. That Chrome, memory saver feature, it ain't cutting it. I had, I don't know, about 100 or some odd tabs open, and 32 gigs of RAM over time. It was 89% used. So I had to close out of Google and reopen before the stream to make sure that I wasn't going to be lagging or anything. So yeah, I mean, all my tabs reopen, no problem. Because if you just kill Chrome and then bring it back up, it says, do you want to restore your session? You restore it and everything pops back up. So anyway, but yeah, that feature, I had high hopes for it. I'm still glad I got my 32 gigs of RAM. Alrighty, let's see. Who else might I have missed that might have tagged me? Or is that everybody? Yeah, I'm buttoned all the way up. See, my producer, Sunflower Mama, you know, wanted me to look presentable, so she buttoned up that last button. So anyway, alrighty, let's see what else people have talked about. Okay, bacon, eggs, and hash. You're lucky I'm north of you and we're in a huge ice storm. Yeah, that's what we had. Was it last week? And yeah, north of us got it really bad. You know, trees toppled, people without power, you know, all that kind of stuff. So thankfully we were lucky that time, or we were just south enough of it that we didn't get that. And then, yeah, today, man, it rained like crazy today. We don't exactly have the best drainage at work. And yeah, it was like a lake. It was like you're walking over a bridge, you know, crossing the moat into the building. It's pretty much what it looks like. So at any rate, yes, I'm hiding all that chest hair. Yeah, you don't know it, but I'm, you know, I've got chest hair, you know, anyway, not really. Did you get it? Good. Wife just killed a bug. Anyway, in case you heard that. Anyway. Alrighty, so let's talk about solo mining next. Yeah, I've been hopping around a bit because I started not having great experiences or having great luck. I stuck it out with ACC Pool and was basically, after having such awesome luck, I started getting really close to going below 100%. See, the way ACC does it is they come down from really high percent, and 100% is still even luck. And then if you go below 100, it's bad. So I had a couple. I had one that was like 17%. So it was like I didn't get a block for 2.5 days. So anyway, so the good luck and the bad luck kind of had almost evened out. It was like at 106% was my overall luck. So it was still better than even. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get out. I'm going to try something else. So then I moved to Hero Miners and had decent luck. I had 13%, which was great. So they go up from 0 to 100. So got 13%. Then the next two were like 70 something percent. And then the next one after that, it was like 140. And I'm like, all right, I give up. I jumped from them. And so now I'm on Wooly Poly. And right now on Wooly Poly, let's see here. Where am I here? Last time I checked, I'm at 17.42%. Haven't gotten my first block yet. So we'll see how that goes. But we'll see. So I'm trying out the different pools, seeing what hits and what doesn't. Oh, interesting. TCTC says Presearch has chatbot GPT integration beta. Have you seen that? I have not. I will definitely have to check that out. We'll do that on stream. I'm actually going to pull that up, presearch.com. And the question is, how do I get that? DuckDuckGo, Etherscan. There's probably a beta or something like that. Is it beta.presearch maybe? Nope. All right. Well, hey, TCTC, if you know how to get to that, please let me know. All right. Kia Enigma Adventures, welcome. I'm going insane trying to set up my 4 Fractus nodes on Proxmox, lol. It will not create a bootable VM with more than 500 gigabytes for a drive. Learning Linux too much, lol. Yeah, sorry, I have not done any setting up of a Fractus node, so I really have no idea. But yeah, the person, if you manage to be in the chat with Taines would be the right person that would maybe be able to help you if he was willing to. I mean, I don't want to voluntold him to help you, but he is the person that I know of that has the most experience setting up Fractus nodes. So hopefully maybe he could help you. We'll see. S Chang says, if you got a 100% luck, the next block should be lower. If you got like 200%, then the next 2 should be fast. That's my experience. Well, again, depends on how it's being measured. But if it's measuring the way I think you're talking about, like 200% is bad and the next 2 should be fast. Honestly, your luck at any given time never changes. It's exactly the same. It's just the fact that over time, your luck should even out to 100%. That's the law of probability. But again, it's like if you flip a coin 4 times and each time it's heads, does it make it more likely the next time it's going to be tails? Nope. It's still 50-50. It's still 50-50. So that's what a lot of people think, like, well, okay, that my odds continue to get better each time, you know, the further I get. No, your odds are always the same. It's just that your odds are the same each time, which means over a period of time, your likelihood of getting a block is X. And so anyway, let's see. Bacon, eggs, and hashed. How do you know anything about, or hey, do you know anything about Syscoin? It runs on nodes. I know nothing about Syscoin. I've never even heard of it. Not to say it's a bad thing, but I have not heard of it. So sorry. Key Enigma Adventures says, I am having to add additional virtual drives and mount them in command line. Takes me like 2 or 3 tries. 2 online so far. Interesting. Well, you got 2 online. That's good. Crypto Crag says, I had 1 at 725%. That was brutal. Oh, that is brutal. So mine at like 17%. That's like the equivalent of just over 500%. So 725%. Yeah, that's brutal. Kyle Rosa, 138% is my average. Well, again, 138%. Again, which pool are you on? Which direction does it go? Does it come from 0, or does it come from a really large number? If you're coming from the large number like ACC does, then 138% is really good. But if it's like Wooly Pulley or Hero Miners, then it's coming from 0. So, you know, bacon, eggs, and hash, that is an excellent question. And that's one of the things I've been struggling with, is because if you're on a variable difficulty pool and it decides it's going to change your difficulty, like port, you know, it makes me wonder that maybe it makes it too high. Therefore, you're not getting as great of a chance to get a block. So I don't know. That's one of the things I wondered, because what I've been finding is as I change pools, some of them, it's like, okay, I'm getting like, you know, shares, quote unquote shares, much more often than I was on, say, ACC pool. And I think that's just because of the difficulty setting. But I mean, if you're having to wait a really, really long time between shares, how does that affect your ability to actually mine a block? So I've been finding, this is one of the reasons why I've been switching, is I've been finding that a lot of times my luck is really good when I first make the switch, and then over time it gets worse. So that's why I'm like, okay, let me try, switching fairly regularly. And again, it's not PPLNS. There's no problem with switching. Again, your odds are always the same. or at least they're supposed to be. But again, that difficulty setting makes me kind of wonder. Let's see. From Australia. Good day from Australia. Aussie J. Good to see you, sir. S Chang, that I'm really, really lucky. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be people that are going to be really, really lucky, and there's going to be people that aren't so lucky. Yeah, Patrick Ian, gambler's fallacy. Yep. Oh man, I lost all these times. I'm due to win. Nope. Your odds are the same as they were before in a purely luck game. Hugo Down, have you ever thought about mining Kaspa to a self-hosted node? I've thought about it. Haven't done it. Hugo Down, just curious. Do you think that would improve the luck? I mean, that should improve the latency, right? So maybe. Anyway, Kyle Rosa says Wooly an average of all blocks found. Okay. And thank you, Joker Miner, for gifting 5 max voltage mining and crypto memberships, also known as OnlyFlans. So let's see who won. Patrick Guyan, K-Trim, TCTC, Aussie J, and Kyle Rosa. You have all been gifted memberships to my channel. So congratulations. And again, thank you to Joker Miner for sponsoring those gifts. Mass Boost says difficulty, ping times, etc. all play a part. So there's that can improve your odds. True, but my ping times were all very similar. Somewhere between 30 and 40 generally on every single pool I was mining to. So yeah, I mean, obviously if you have like super low ping times, I've heard sometimes too low is not good either. So I don't know. Somebody had said, oh wow, you're in the Goldilocks zone, as they put it. So because I'm less than 40 milliseconds on every pool I was mining to. So anyway, nothing super crazy. Let's see here. Integra Guy, I did my own Kaspa node. Your latency should be 0, but I didn't see a real difference. Interesting. Hugo Don, I have better than average success mining to self-host node over the past 6 months. Interesting. 2 different opinions. Yeah, it sounds like might be something interesting to look into. But is it worth the trouble of creating your own self-hosted node? I'll think about it. Alrighty. I got through all of the chat. Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about, or one of the other things I wanted to talk about, was ChatGPT. So went down that rabbit hole this weekend. As some of you may know, I am looking for a new job. Anyway, nobody from work watches. At least I don't think they do. Anyway, but one of the things I found with ChatGPT, after I'd done some analysis and like watched some videos about how can you profit from it and all that kind of thing, and saw what some people had done, and watched Max Maher's video on it. And the key thing is whatever you tell it to do is to give it as much context as possible. So give it as much detail as possible. What are you looking for, and what information do you want it to use? So I usually don't do cover letters, but if ChatGPT is going to write me a cover letter for me by giving out some information about myself and how I think it, I'm basically only providing the information that I think is relevant to the position. Yeah, it did a damn good job. I was very impressed. I had to modify what ChatGPT put out, but it's a heck of a lot easier to edit something like that than it is to create it all new. So yeah, I was like, wow, there's no way I'd ever write a cover letter this good. So anyway, I was very impressed by it, and I find it to be a very, very handy tool. So if any of you out there is job searching, and you never write cover letters because they're such a pain in the butt, maybe it's time to actually start doing cover letters. Now, that was yesterday. So have I gotten any responses because of my cover letters? No, not yet. Not because of the cover letters. Did get a response from one of my applications, but we'll see if it comes of anything. I'm way too early in the process to get my hopes up. That's for sure. TCTC, they are still ironing out some of the pre-search AI. They were rewarding some testers last AMA. They have a new Twitter for it. Pre-search AI, stay up to date, keep up posted. All right, I will definitely check that out. I like the fact that that's something new coming to pre-search and could drive, adoption. And especially, I mean, one of the drawbacks of ChatGPT is that, yeah, you have to create a login. And so therefore, all the things that you are asking about are tracked. But if you could use something that you're not actually anonymous when you're doing it with pre-search, but you're doing it in a much more general way as opposed to a more specific way, I guess. I don't know. That's the way I was looking at it. So anyway, we shall see. But that'd be pretty cool to have that being used as one of the search engines. That's for sure. Carl Broker, welcome. Getting ChatGPT to continue a long output without repeating itself. Continue often has the output repeat. Continue exactly where you left off works 75% of the time. Yeah, it does repeat itself sometimes. I know in one of the cover letters it repeated itself, so I just, it's an easy edit. It's not that big of a deal. And then continue from quote last 5 words works 90% of the time. Interesting. Let's see. ChatGPT doesn't know it yet, but it's gonna do my taxes. I don't think it. I mean, actually, when they were talking, again, I was watching the Max Maher video. If you think about what it's doing, it's just math. It's basically taking what you're asking, creating basically an equation, and going out and searching the internet of things that solve for that equation. So they're basically turning the whole thing into a math problem. It's a probability. What's the most likely thing that will relate to what you have put out into the universe? And that's all it's doing, which is pretty amazing by what it produces as a result. Yeah, K-Trim, AI is scary. You don't know who is controlling behind the scenes. True. But I mean, the key thing is nobody's supposed to be controlling it behind the scenes. And again, the way ChatGPT is, it does not have a personality. It's not built like that. It does not have 3 rules or anything like that. It's just producing output. Yes, I'm sure there have to be some filters on it. Otherwise, it'll go out and onto the internet and create some pretty scary shit. So yes, they probably have to put things like that in there to make sure it doesn't produce things that would be bad. Like, ChatGPT, how do I build a nuclear bomb? Where would I find the supplies for a nuclear bomb? Those types of things. I haven't tried them, and I'm not going to try them on stream, but I'm guessing that there's probably a little bit more manual intervention when it comes to things like that. That would be my guess. So DJ Mine says, at work, everyone in the office writing awards for us. It is saving us 10 plus hours of work and finishes it in like 5 seconds. Yeah. Writing awards? AWQRDS. I'm assuming you mean awards. But yeah, it is definitely here to stay. It will only improve. Yeah, and that was one of the other things. Like I said, Max Maher's he basically takes a subject and just completely analyzes the hell out of it, learns it, figures out what it's going to mean, how to take advantage of it, all those kinds of things. And it was pretty interesting where he basically is like, look, yes, it's going to make some jobs obsolete. That's what it will do. But you just need to adapt, and everybody will need to be a manager. You know, yes, it will be able to do a lot of the things that are the grunt work. It's going to take the grunt work away, and you just have to be one of those people that is invaluable in taking the grunt work and putting it into a final product, or marketing that final product, or whatever. So just, you know, it's adapt or die. So innovate or die. Solar miner in Spain. Have you tried voice AI yet? It looks fun, but scary at the same time. You could pretend to be anyone. I have not tried that yet. DJ Mines, sorry, we have it right. All of our time-consuming mundane work finishes in seconds. Just got to double check its work. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it would have taken me a really long time to write the cover letters that I had last night. A really long time. And it took me 10 minutes, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes to write each one, because I was just learning how to use ChatGPT. So I was trying to write things contextually and was really trying to think about how do I put that in here. And I was doing it in one shot. I wasn't like iterating on it, like looking at the result and then saying, oh, add this or whatever. I wasn't doing anything like that. It was like, boom, this is what I'm doing. So anyway, Patrick Kind, but it already lies about political issues and pushes a political left narrative in place of objective reality. It's a propaganda engine with a veneer of usefulness. See, that may be if that's the question you're asking it, but the way I look at it is, why would you ask that question of an AI? Because yeah, whoever wrote it is going to, you know, have that, or wherever it's looking, wherever it's searching, whatever it is finding the majority of. Yeah, but again, why would you search that? Yeah, I don't know. That's not where I would go with it. I wouldn't go anywhere where there's opinion. AI is not good. It's not really designed for things of opinion. It's designed for things of black and white. Or things of creativity that doesn't matter, I guess is the way I would put it. You know, when you ask it to write a program to do something, that's very black and white. Yes, there's many ways you can do it, but it's going to gather all the information and try to do it the best way it knows how to do it. And it may or may not be right, but at least would get you a start on it. So, Max for president, all set miner. I could never run for probably pretty much any office, because I would end up sticking my foot in my mouth. Somewhere along the line, I would say something stupid, and then I would never hear the end of it through the rest of the campaign, and they would just drive it in anyway. It's usually the way campaigns work. Let's see here. Patrick, you need to interrogate it to know the difference quality of its data to know if it's trustworthy. True, except, I mean, again, if you're asking it opinion, things that aren't black and white, then you're asking it the wrong question, in my opinion. That wouldn't be what I would trust it with. Because again, the person that is programming that AI would have, you'd be working with the people who wrote it. The people who wrote it, that would be their leanings, one way or the other. I don't know. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I would not look at it for opinion pieces. Is BitBoy a good person or a bad person? You could ask it that, but whatever answer you get back is an opinion. That's all it is. And so that's why I say kind of stay away from those things when you're talking about AI, at least at this point. Hey, Hawk Crypto, good to see you, sir. Yeah, and it is still in its infancy. It's incredibly useful, but it's somewhat limited. I mean, that's the bottom line. So, alrighty. Bacon, eggs, and hash. Uniblab? What? Uniblab? What? I don't even know what you're saying there. Anyway, good to see you, Hawk. Appreciate you being here. All right, so that's been my experience with ChatGPT. I will continue to experiment with it and see what I can find out. And to wrap things up for tonight, well, actually, there's two other things I haven't talked about. We'll talk about WordPress on Flux next. Let me see if I can pull up a website. I think it's this one. If I remember correctly. Right. Yep. Okay. Let me pull this up. There it is. Patrick Guyan, break the Web3 barrier. Actually, there's Flux Cloud up. I just haven't pulled it down. Flux Cloud. There you go. So yes, they've added WordPress. You go into WordPress. Where do you go? I haven't even played around with this. Oh, this is basically just signing up for a WordPress site. But let's just say that I know that Chili has put in a lot of effort into this, and there's a lot of helpful documents, best practices. So if we go to best practices or FAQ or guide, you can click on these and get some additional information. FAQ, guide. And there's all your guides. Step by step. WordPress admin setup. Let's go here. Hawk Crypto, thank you for the super chat. Coming in with the $10. Mondays with Max, my internet dad. Stop saying that. Terra hosting lower electric bills very soon. We are growing at light speed. LFG, I'd say what it meant, but yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't it just Panda that was saying LFG meant something else from a game? What does LFG mean, Red Panda? Not what it means now, but what did it mean then? Anyway, whoever knows what it means, pop it in the chat. Looking for group. That's it. Thank you. Panda just had that come up on one of his streams this past weekend, I think, if I remember correctly. Anyway, I was not part of that game. I just found it interesting, chump. Stop being so judgmental, sir. Then Veteran Miner, good to see you. Did not see you in here before. And the Bees, Crypto Mining. Oh, there's a lot of people that have popped in. So again, appreciate you guys all being here. Real Living, appreciate you being here. Hello to you as well. Anyway, and anybody else that I missed, I apologize. But anyway, they've definitely put a lot of effort into this. I looked at it. In fact, let me bring up, hang on one second. I want to pull up Jeff Gee's blog because he talked a little bit about, yep, there it is. Beta launch day. So Flux WordPress integration. So, how does this WordPress work on Flux? It runs on nodes. Well, duh, of course it runs on nodes. Let's see. So basically there's three different components. There's the database, MySQL, the WordPress component, and the Flux operator component. So there's three different pieces to it. But anyway, another component is the Flux domain manager. So you can actually use like the domain that is provided by Flux, or you can point it to your own domain if you have your own custom domain, like Mining King has his own domain. So Anyway, actually, let's look at his site. Actually, let me. Was it miningking.com? TheMiningKing.com. I'm scrolling up just so I can click on it. If I can find it. Dang it! Did he tag me? I don't want to type it in. Yes. The Mining King, I'm sure with 2 eyes.com. Look at that. It's the King's Castle. Kingsman Arena. This looks cool, man. And this is running on Flux Mining King. Are you still here? This looks cool. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I got it now. You're a little behind Mining King, I think. But anyway, this is running on Flux. Yes, it's on Flux. So there you go. This is like not just like you put some effort into this. It wasn't just like a little website just to test the concept. You built a nice website. Oh, it doesn't like that works yet. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that button didn't work, but when you click Kingsman Arena, it does up here. Very cool. I like it. And it's snappy. Hey, you don't have anything to sell yet. Contact. I mean, it's snappy. About. Is that you? Is that a picture of you? Is it? Is it? Oh, and then it actually links you to, I'm guessing to, yeah, your latest YouTube video. That's cool. I like it. Very nice. I'm just taking you right back to the beginning. Very nice. I like it a lot. What was that? Oh yeah, I didn't figure it was. There's no beard on the guy. You can see there's no beard. You can tell there's no beard there. The face is too thin. You'd see the beard sticking out the sides if the person had a beard. Anyway, the Mining King looks really nice. Yeah, he cleans up. He does clean up. Anyway, yeah, how much is it to run this a month? Mining King? Is it less than $1, I think? Just waiting. I have like a spinning wheel waiting. I haven't switched back to ultra latency. I've just got it on low latency. Paid for a year. It was 82 Flux. Nice. Beard shaming. No, I thought you were better than that. Hello, Paddywhack Mining. I've had a beard before, so I'm not beard shaming. I just thought it was funny that it looks like it would be a picture of him, but it's not, because you can tell he doesn't have a beard in that picture. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So Mining King says it's 1 CPU, 1 gigabit RAM, and 20 gigabit SSD. Interesting. Did you absolutely need that much space, or you were just kind of over-speccing it? It would have been a lot easier if I just had both these guys on the show. But anyway. Anyway, I think Mining King's going to have another live stream this weekend and be talking about this. Or maybe we'll just do this on Saturday Night Live. We'll see. Oh, it's the only option. Got it. It's the default option for now. You can change it once it's launched. Interesting. Okay. Cool. Good to know. So anyway, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I can't tell that this is running on Flux. I'd ask him. That's the point. Shouldn't be able to tell that it's running on Flux. It just is. And as more and more adoption happens, this is going to be awesome. And yes, Kaspa is up. I didn't know it was up by 35%, but I do know it's up. Have I hit? I'll check a little bit later. See if I've hit another solo block. I don't think so. Anyway, all right. So I know that Mining King covered a lot of this morning, so I'm not going to go over it too much, but I did want to mention it. I think it's really, really cool. Again, I think the technology is cool, but besides that, it doesn't matter whether I think it's cool. Will it drive adoption of the use of Flux? That's the key. 60% of the internet uses WordPress for their websites. Will some of them come over to Flux for the cost savings? Yes. Does it work? Time will tell. This is the first day. From what I can see, it works. It's in beta though, so I would expect that there might be a few issues here and there. They will correct them until they can roll it out completely. And but like I said, I'm looking at this, and I mean, it's snappy. There's nothing slow about it. You know, fine. This will take me to Terra Hosting. This will take me to Misfit Mining, and that will take me to his YouTube channel. And then these all are external links. So, okay. I was just looking to see if there was anything other than these locations to go to, but everything else looks like it's an external link, which is absolutely fine. I just was curious if I was missing any of the content. Anyway, so go check it out. You want to do it, hop into the Flux Discord, hop over to cloud.runonflux.io and go into, click on WordPress, and then down at the bottom is guide, FAQ. I forget those pointers or something like that. Where was it? This was the guide. And yeah, best practices. That was the other one. So anyway, so check it out. I think it's pretty cool. Alrighty. Lastly, thanks to Rude Poots, got me going down the rabbit hole of ASML this evening before the stream. I should actually put out there, I'm going to do a poll. See, how many people have you ever heard of ASML? All right. Let me know if you've heard of this company. Because I'm curious. It's a really, really important company for technology. And I mean, obviously some people know it, but looks like the majority of you don't know what company ASML. Well, it is a company based in the Netherlands, and it has very advanced lithography technology that is used in basically like really low, basically it enables smaller and smaller transistors. That's what it enables. It's gone down to now 3 nanometer technology. So when you hear that like TSMC is going down to 5 nanometer, 3 nanometer, that is enabled by this lithography technology that's produced by ASML and only produced by ASML. So that's what, like I said, I actually saw a video that was provided by Rude Puts, and then I'm like, okay, let me verify some of this information. Because basically what it was saying was that all of the manufacturers are using their technology and have to use their technology. You said ASL? Yeah, I thought it was ASML. But anyway, it's based in, here, let me look it up. I swear it was ASML. I don't want to use that one. Let me go over here. Yeah, it's ASML Holding. It's the name of the company. Let's see here. Yeah, it's ASML. I have that right. Specializes in the development of and manufacturing of photolithography machines. Like I said, it's what enables things to go down to such a low a low, very small transistor. So one of the things that was talked about in this video was like, you have that type of technology, and we all know computing is so important in everything, including defense. So if you have faster processors, more advanced processors than your competition, than your rivals, then you have an advantage. So keeping it out of your enemy's hands is very, very important. So, you think about it, the Netherlands is part of, I was going to say OPEC, and that's not right. Anyway, part of the West, and therefore there's been an advantage for the people of the West to have that on their side. Now, what's interesting is where's TSMC? They're in Taiwan. So obviously it might be in China's best interest to also make sure they obtain this technology one way or the other. But anyway, right now it is a leverage, as opposed to them just going out and selling to the highest bidder. But anyway, I found it very interesting, as I thought this is really, really critical as to who may have access to this technology. And I hadn't really thought of, and it makes sense, but I hadn't really thought of, access to technology and fighting for whether or not somebody has access to that technology is just another form of war. So anyway, I just got me thinking about that, and I hadn't actually thought about that before. Technology I always think is more for the good, but yes, unfortunately, technology can be used for killing machines and defense from killing machines. So yeah. Anyway, but I just found it really interesting that it's basically based in this town of 45,000 people, and a third of the people in this town work for ASML. And yet it is one of the most advanced companies in the world. And if you read up on, top tech companies to invest in, and ASML is going to end up on that list. Of course, you got Apple, you got Google, you got Amazon. Of course, those end up on all those lists, especially considering like Microsoft as well, because of AI. But ASML is in there because in order to continue to get faster and faster and faster results from AI, you're going to continue to need additional processing resources. So if you can continue Moore's law a little bit longer through new technology like ASML provides, then obviously that means that their technology is very wanted in this world. So anyway, just little known company that you may want to look into, DJ. Anyway, it's food for thought for you on your next video, your Friday night video, where you can talk about ASML and tell us what you think about it as a stock. Not that any of this is financial advice. I just found it very, very interesting that I'd never heard of this major company, but only because it provides the technology to the company that makes the processors for another company that actually sells them. So they're kind of down the chain a bit, but an extremely important part of that chain. So anyway, all right. ASL age sex location. Yeah, I'd never heard that one before. So TCTC says, Gavin Baker, top semiconductor analyst, has done extensive work on this company. Essentially, the entire world depends on this company's evolution. Exactly. The closest company, from my understanding, from the video that I watched, basically is like 5 years behind. And most companies are like 10 years behind. So yeah, they have a huge head start on everybody else in this. Unless, of course, somebody steals the technology, reverse engineers the technology, and starts building stuff based on that, which that happens in everything, unfortunately. Let's see. I'm going to walk right past Hawk's comment on that one. Overboard Tech, good to see you, sir. And Sophus 1990 says, recently the US government asked ASML to stop shipping those machines to China. Yeah, that's what I was referring to in that video that I was watching. That's what they were talking about, was that they did that. And they also, you know, obviously US is trying to get to the point where we are manufacturing more chip technology in the US, not having to rely on other countries as much, so that we can be more secure. So at least that's the idea. Let's see, any other comments? Let's see. I just passed one up. Oh, how am I showing my age? That sounds like you know what that means. Back in AIM messaging, AIM messaging is like forever ago. That's like 25, 30 years ago when AIM messaging was being used. Wow, who's showing their age? Anyway, is that what you're mining with ASML hardware? LOL. Quite the budget. I'm not sure what you're referring to as far as mining, but anyway, yeah, I'm not mining. Well, obviously everybody's mining with probably their hardware. I would imagine that they were involved with the 5 nanometer technology. So, yeah, anyway, good evening, Jeff Key. Good to see you. You missed the conversation on WordPress, unfortunately. Get home faster. It's funny. You're almost down here. Okay. Let's see. What else is people tagging me on? Petrikine, technology can be used for killing. Until recent times, it was almost exclusively invested in for the sole purpose of war. That is true. I know. I do realize that. Yeah, it's very difficult. Like if you are an automation engineer trying to go work for a company that doesn't have something that they make used in some type of war, defense piece of equipment is extremely difficult. There was a guy that I used to work with. He works for a company that makes like they're motor driven wheelchairs, and they've got a lot of controls on them. So basically that's one of their main markets, but one of their other ones is controls for turrets. Defense. So obviously that helps drive their ability to make these things for people who are handicapped. So yeah, they're both pretty much equal markets to them. But yeah, actually, interestingly enough, yeah, 78%, over 3/4 of you had not heard of who ASML was. So I don't feel quite so stupid. Again, it's such an important company that so many people have not heard of, which I find very interesting. I haven't scrolled down. Oh, a couple of things popped up. Mining King. Add domain first. Otherwise, you have to manually add it in the local app section of the Flux dashboard. Let's go, Flux! Member for 11 months. Thank you very much, Mining King, for being a member for 11 months. Chum Change is a member for 11 months as well. Did the flannel change? No, it did not change. It did not change. What was wrong with your comment? Did I say there was something wrong with your comment? Oh, yeah, you said showing my age. That's what was wrong with your comment. Anyway, and then Hawk with the $5 super chat. All right, I will close it because I am not using it. And probably won't for the rest of the stream. And hold on. I've covered up my OBS. There we go. Okay. But anyway, Hawk with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Kaspa is profitable at 10 cents. Woot! All 6700 XTs on it. So efficient, 350 mega hash, 37 watts ish per card. LOL. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's Kaspa. We've all been waiting for a coin to kind of break out as the dominant coin. And to me, that appears like it could be Kaspa from a mining perspective. But time will tell. We'll see. I mean, this could just be a pump and it could come back down. So we'll see. It's still new, still very new. And it's, I mean, what is its draw? Its draw is it can do really fast transactions and do it well. That's great. But there's a lot of other coins that say they can do the same thing. So what makes it so different? I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking for coins that are, yes, there's going to be some coins that are all doing the same things, but when you're talking about things that can do fast transactions, there's so many of them. Now, Kaspa probably does it better than the rest of them, I think, but you know, it's again getting that word out and getting adoption, and that's the key. Oh, Fuego Marty, thank you for being a new subscriber. Appreciate it very, very much. TCTC says another interesting development in semis is actually graphene chips rather than silicone. Yeah, I have heard that. That will be interesting to see what happens. But again, that's why everybody says, well, Moore's law is dead. Is it? Is it really? Maybe with the current technology that's trying to make it smaller and smaller and smaller with the current technology, but another technology will come along in order to make it smaller and smaller and smaller again. So we'll see. I'll set miner. I fly a surveillance drone for breakfast. Okay, then. You mean to go pick up your breakfast? That'd be cool. I like that. Yes, ASML is over $600 per share. Its price to earnings ratio is over 40. So it certainly isn't for the meek. It all depends on how fast you think it's going to grow. General rule of thumb is if the growth rate is higher than the price to earnings ratio, then you should be in pretty good shape with that particular investment just based upon that measurement. All right, let's see what else. Anybody else tag me in anything? No, I do not see anybody else tagging me. And it has been just over an hour. Anybody got any questions for me before I wrap up the stream? Just going back to see if I missed anything. Nope, talked about everything I planned on talking about. If you have a question for me, please tag me in the chat. Weather XM. My opinion on that is it's a solution looking for a problem. So, and I have a little bit different perspective. First off, I have a very, very, very good friend of mine who is a professor in meteorology, as well as my son graduated with his bachelor's degree in meteorology. So recently, a couple of years ago, and works in for a company. Basically, he's in the industry. So I won't go into what exactly he does. So the problem with WeatherXM is, you know, you're putting these in, you're allowing somebody to deploy these things in different situations. So in other words, you can't control exactly where it's installed. Where it's installed, whether it's on a house in the middle of a yard, how high it is off the ground, will all affect how the measurements are. Secondly, the other thing is they can't roll out enough of them just by making their own weather stations to make it worth it. So they have to integrate with other weather stations. The problem is that while the weather stations may be precise, they may not all have the same accuracy. So in other words, you might have one that might be consistently 3/4 of a degree off. while another unit next to it is 3/4 of a degree off the other direction. And obviously that would average out to the right, but that's not the point. The point is that there's no control over that. The sensor network that we currently have has a lot more control over that. These are not, they're not the type that you put in your backyard. So by putting up all of these sensors, the way that they currently are deployed isn't really going to help anything. Nobody's looking for that data. So if they were putting up, weather stations that had very, very precise pressure sensors and temperature sensors, that would be a different story. But again, it would all need to be like at the same height and in the same deployment. I mean, when you're deploying in a neighborhood, you're going to have different objects that are going to affect wind, not only the wind speed, but the wind direction. It bounces off something, it's going to affect the wind direction. So yeah, it's just, there just isn't the right data. Yeah, there's lots of data, but if the data is not right, it really just confuses. So yeah, like I said, I believe it's a solution looking for a problem, and I actually think it will make it worse. For those people that have the WeatherXM weather stations, they're great. I'm not saying that they're a bad thing. I'm just simply saying that I don't think there's going to be anybody out there that's going to be interested in buying the data because of that. So, but like, yeah, you want a weather station for your house because you think it's cool? No, absolutely. They're really nice. They are really nice weather stations. So if you want it for that, then yeah, absolutely feel free to buy it. TCTC says, what is the most interesting development in crypto that caught your eye this week? Well, I mean, I know it's going to be boring because I'm a Flux fanboy, but WordPress. I mean, that's definitely the biggest thing that caught my eye this week. I'm sure there's other things, but that was the biggest one that caught my eye this week. Paddywhack Miner says, did you move the CPU off RTM yet? No, I haven't, but I will be doing that. Thanks for reminding me that. I'll probably be doing that tonight, either tonight or tomorrow. One of the two. You have 4 on Zergpool mining Bitorium, paying Flux, and while the yield is small, it's profitable. Well, what I'm going to do, like I've said before, I will mine what I think is most profitable and that I can liquidate. So I'll be mining probably Altrium. I think it's Altrium is the name of it. Be mining that, and be moving it to TradeOgre to trade into Flux. So that is the plan. So I'll be doing that fairly shortly. I did want to change over my Kaspa mining to Wooly Pulley, but I did that before the stream, so I might have a chance to do this after the stream. TCTC, excellent analysis. Thank you for the Weatherman insights. Much appreciated. Oh, no problem. Allset Miners says, I was trying Noddle out with the project pings off smart devices via 5G Wi-Fi and earn reward for validation of each device. Is Noddle a project? N-O-D-L-E? Maybe noodle out with the project pings. Sorry, I'm sure you're probably doing it from a cell phone and you're probably trying to use swipe or something like that. Then it's probably messing up a few of the words that it's making it me hard to understand it. But anyway, EHT or ETH, you mean ETH, Kyle Rosa? Launch testnet for unlocking. Yeah, I'm sure you mean ETH. Well, that probably means it's about, my guess is about 3 months away if they just unlocked a testnet. Is this one of the 3 testnets that they do before they launch, or is this just like a project testnet that they're just testing for development purposes? Because they a lot of times will start with those. Well, they always start with those first. So I honestly haven't been keeping up with ETH. I'm really not that interested anymore. Let's see. If there's any other questions here. The mining king is Ghost Rider. Yep. Pay yourself. Take profits when needed, not greedy. I agree. Nothing wrong with taking some profits along the way. Nothing wrong with it at all. Oh, okay. So Offset Miner. Yeah. Cell phone mining project is called Nodal. Interesting. I was not aware. There's so many projects out there. So many projects out there that I am not aware of. I hear about them fairly often. And I'm always like, I should look into that. I should look into that. But then work kind of gets in the way and then kind of fall upon my, I love Flux. Sorry, I just do. I think it's really cool. So, yeah, but I do need to venture out and see what else is available out there instead of just always focusing on that. And you never know what you might find. Never know what you might find. So, alrighty, guys. Well, thanks again for coming along with the journey and coming to view my stream. I do appreciate you all. And you guys all have a wonderful night. And I will see you next Monday. Thank you very much, guys.